Welcome back to the channel BBC Rare Coins, coin lovers and history hunters. Today we're going deep into one of the most iconic and collectible coins in American history, the USA Wheat Penny. Let's start. Top 1. In the vast world of American coin collecting, few coins have captured the attention and imagination of collectors quite like the 1940 Wheat Penny. What was once a simple 1-cent piece used in everyday purchases has, in certain rare forms, transformed into a small piece of treasure, a slice of American history that's now worth far more than its face value. And while the 1940 Lincoln Wheat Cent has its own unique story, another modern coin, the legendary script-error quarter dollar, stunned collectors when it sold for a jaw-dropping $59,000, proving that even small coins can carry massive value. Let's begin with the 1940 Wheat Penny. The Lincoln Wheat Cent, first minted in 1909, carried the now iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two wheat ears on the reverse. It symbolized unity, resilience, and progress in the United States. By 1940, the coin had already become a staple in everyday life. That year, the mint struck millions of these pennies, from Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, using their standard bronze alloy made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. But among the many, a few stood out, not because they were shiny or flawless, but because they carried rare minting mistakes or characteristics that made them one of a kind. Some 1940 wheat pennies were struck off-center, or with die cracks, while others featured double die errors on the date or the word liberty. These subtle differences, sometimes only visible under magnification, make a massive difference in value. A 1940 penny with a strong double die obverse in uncirculated condition can easily bring in thousands of dollars at auction. But perhaps the rarest and most valuable of all 1940 wheat pennies are those struck on foreign planchets, metal blanks that were meant for coins of other countries. These coins have unusual weights and color tones. One documented example was struck on a planchet intended for a 10-cent coin from the Netherlands, making the U.S. penny significantly thinner and lighter. This rare error, authenticated and certified, sold for over $10,000 due to its incredible rarity. Beyond mint errors, the condition of the coin also plays a vital role. A 1940 wheat penny graded MS68 red, meaning it's in mint state condition with original red copper luster, is extremely rare and highly sought after. Only a small handful have received such a grade, and they've sold for more than $15,000 at top-tier auctions. Now, while that's impressive, nothing prepared the coin world for the discovery of the script-error quarter dollar, a coin unlike any other. From a distance, it looked like a typical Washington quarter. But as soon as collectors looked closer, they noticed something no U.S. coin had ever shown before. The lettering on the coin was in a flowing, cursive script. The words, "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and even the date were styled in an elegant handwritten font rather than the bold, block capitals that are standard on all modern U.S. currency. This wasn't a counterfeit. It was authenticated as a legitimate mint error, likely caused by a rare experimental die or a hub mismatch, something so rare that its very existence contradicts standard minting procedures. Only one known example has ever surfaced, and its uniqueness combined with its pristine, uncirculated condition drove collectors into a frenzy. When the coin went to auction, it became one of the most hotly contested pieces of modern numismatic history. Bidding began strong and escalated quickly. By the time the hammer fell, this mysterious and magnificent quarter had sold for an astonishing $59,000. This sale not only shocked the coin collecting world, but also reignited interest in examining every coin closely. After all, the next rare find could be sitting unnoticed in a cash register or change jar, waiting to be discovered. Both the 1940 wheat penny and the rare script quarter show us that coin collecting is more than a hobby. It's a treasure hunt. Each coin has a story. Each error is a whisper from the past. And sometimes, what looks like a simple cent or quarter can turn out to be a life-changing discovery. So check your change, study the details, and never underestimate the coins you carry. Because as history has shown us, even the smallest coins can hold the biggest surprises. Top 2. In the world of American coins, few pieces spark curiosity and excitement like the 1942 wheat penny. At first glance, it may look like any other cent you'd find in an old jar or tucked away in a drawer. But hidden among the millions minted that year are rare versions, error coins, and high-grade examples that have become incredibly valuable, some reaching thousands of dollars in auctions. And if that wasn't enough, a rare and mysterious script error quarter dollar has made headlines after selling for an unbelievable $57,000, reminding collectors that even modern coins can carry jaw-dropping value. Let's begin with the 1942 Lincoln Wheat cent. BY 1942, the United States was fully engaged in World War II, and materials were being conserved for the war effort. Pennies that year were still being struck in the usual bronze alloy of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, but that was about to change, and 1942 would become one of the last years for the classic copper alloy before the switch to steel in 1943. This makes the 1942 penny part of a transitional period in American coinage history, and with that transition came a number of unique mint errors and anomalies. Among the most valuable versions of the 1942 wheat penny are those with striking errors, such as off-center strikes, broad strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchets. One of the most famous is the 1942 wheat penny struck on a silver dime planchet. These rare mistakes occurred when the mint accidentally fed the wrong metal blank into the presses, resulting in pennies that were smaller, thinner, and silver-colored instead of the usual copper. Because of their extreme rarity and the unique nature of each error, these coins have been sold at auctions for over $10,000, depending on condition and clarity of the error. There are also double-die errors from 1942 that show noticeable doubling on the date or lettering, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. Strong examples in uncirculated condition are highly sought after and have fetched thousands from serious collectors. But the true high-end value lies in coins graded MS-67 or higher with original red luster, something that only a tiny fraction of 1942 wheat pennies still possess. These top-graded coins have sold for $12,000 to $18,000 in the collector's market, making them one of the most expensive Lincoln cents from the early 1940s. Yet, even that pales in comparison to one of the most unusual finds in recent numismatic history, the rare script error quarter dollar, which stunned the community when it sold for $4.57,000. This quarter, at first glance, looked like any ordinary Washington quarter. But a closer look revealed something astonishing. Instead of the traditional bold, capitalized text used on all modern U.S. quarters, the coin featured script-style lettering, almost as if it had been handwritten in cursive. Liberty, In God We Trust, and even the date were all rendered in flowing, elegant lines that no U.S. coin had ever featured before. The coin was not altered, not damaged, and not counterfeit. It was verified as a genuine U.S. mint error, likely the result of an experimental die or hub misalignment during testing. This type of error is almost unheard of, and no other known examples have surfaced. The combination of its uniqueness, condition, and mystery made it one of the most desirable coins in modern U.S. history. When the coin went to public auction, the bidding was fierce. Within minutes, the price soared past expectations. By the time the gavel fell, the script quarter had sold for $57,000, leaving even experienced dealers speechless. Together, the 1942 wheat penny and the rare script error quarter serve as a powerful reminder. Never overlook the details. A coin you think is worth only a cent or a quarter could end up being a life-changing discovery. Always check your change. Pay attention to mint marks, lettering styles, and weights. Because whether it's a wartime penny with a rare error or a mysterious modern quarter, the next great coin find could be right in your hand. Top 3. In the world of coin collecting, some coins are more than just currency. They are windows into American history, rare treasures hiding in plain sight. One such coin is the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a simple copper cent that has become one of the most fascinating pieces from the World War II era. And while this humble penny tells a story of wartime America, another modern marvel, the ultra-rare script error quarter dollar, has stunned the collecting world by selling for an unbelievable $54,000, showing once again that even the smallest coins can hold massive value. Let's begin with the 1945 Wheat Penny. This coin was minted near the end of World War II, a time when the U.S. Mint was still using the wartime composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. The tin had been removed in 1944 to save materials for the war effort. That year, the Mint produced hundreds of millions of pennies across its Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco facilities. But within those massive production numbers, rare and valuable varieties emerged. The most valuable versions of the 1945 wheat penny are not your average circulated coins. Instead, collectors hunt for those in superb, uncirculated condition, especially those with full red luster. A 1945 penny graded MS-68 red is incredibly rare, and only a tiny handful exist. One such coin sold at auction for over $14,000, making it one of the most expensive wheat pennies from the 1940s. Even more valuable are the error coins, and 1945 was a year filled with mistakes that turned ordinary pennies into treasures. One of the most notable is the off-metal error, where a penny was accidentally struck on a foreign planchet, a metal blank meant for a coin from another country. Some 1945 wheat pennies were struck on silver dime planchets, giving them a smaller, silvery appearance. Others were struck off-center, double-struck, or featured dramatic die breaks. These rare mint errors, when authenticated and preserved, have sold for $10,000 to $20,000 depending on condition and severity of the error point. One of the rarest 1945 errors ever discovered was a penny struck on a steel planchet, left over from 1943 production. This coin, blending two different wartime compositions, was not supposed to exist in 1945, but it does, and its rarity makes it one of the most sought-after wheat cents in existence, with prices estimated above $25,000. But while the 1945 wheat penny represents the end of an era, a new mystery emerged decades later, one that shocked even the most experienced coin experts. The discovery of the script error $quarter introduced a coin so rare, so unusual, that it instantly became one of the most valuable modern errors in U.S. history. At first glance, it looked like a regular Washington quarter. But as soon as collectors examined it more closely, they noticed something that had never appeared on a U.S. coin before. The lettering on the obverse and reverse was written in cursive script. Instead of the standard block letters reading Liberty, "In God We Trust," and the date, the words were flowing, elegant, almost handwritten, as if designed with a completely different font system. This was not post-mint damage, nor was it a novelty coin. It was submitted for certification and confirmed to be an authentic U.S. mint product, a genuine error caused by the use of a test die or experimental hub. No other known examples like it exist, making this a one-of-a-kind discovery. The rarity, the curiosity, and the visual appeal of the script error quarter attracted massive interest. When it went to auction, collectors from around the world placed bids. The final sale stunned the industry, $54,000 for a $quarter that somehow broke the rules of U.S. coin design. Together, the 1945 wheat penny and the script error quarter remind us that coin collecting is about more than face value. It's about history, mystery, rarity, and the thrill of discovery. Whether you're sifting through old jars of change or closely examining coins from your wallet, you never know what hidden gem you might find so keep your eyes open. That ordinary penny or quarter might just be the next coin worth thousands or more. Top 4. In the fascinating world of American coin collecting, few coins have stood the test of time and captured the hearts of collectors like the 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny. What was once just another cent in circulation has become a symbol of nostalgia, historical value, and rare beauty. But among the countless pennies minted that year, a handful are worth far more than 1 cent, with error coins and pristine specimens fetching thousands of dollars at auction. And if that wasn't enough to spark excitement, a bizarre and stunning script error $quarter shocked collectors worldwide when it sold for a massive $51,000, proving once again that even modern coins can turn into unexpected treasures. Let's begin with the 1956 wheat penny, a coin from the final years of the wheat reverse design, which ran from 1909 to 1958. It was the end of an era. By 1956, the Lincoln Wheat Penny had become one of the most familiar coins in America. That year, the Mint produced millions of them, including a large number of proof coins from the Philadelphia Mint. Most of them are common in circulated condition, but hidden among them are rare versions that are anything but ordinary. Some of the most valuable 1956 wheat pennies are those struck with minting errors. Among the most sought after is the double die obverse, a coin where the lettering and date appears slightly doubled, a result of a die that struck the coin twice in slightly misaligned positions. These double die errors can bring in $1,000 to $5,000, depending on the clarity of the doubling and the coin's condition. Another major category is off-center strikes, where the design appears shifted or missing on one side of the coin. In some dramatic cases, only half of Lincoln's head appears on the coin, and collectors love these dramatic minting mistakes. A 1956 off-center penny in high grade can sell for over $2,000. Then there are the proof coins, specially struck coins with mirror-like finishes. The 1956 proof set included the Wheat Penny, and flawless examples graded PR69 red have sold for $7,000 or more, especially when they show cameo or deep cameo contrast between the frosted design and mirrored background. But the true standout is the 1956 Wheat Penny struck on the wrong planchet, for example, on a silver dime blank or a foreign coin blank. These errors are incredibly rare and have commanded prices upwards of $10,000 to $15,000, depending on the exact planchet, strike quality, and certification. While the 1956 penny holds its place in coin collecting history, the real shocker came in the form of a strange modern quarter, known now as the script error quarter dollar. A coin so rare and mysterious that it stunned even the most seasoned experts when it sold $4.51,000. At first, it looked like any other Washington quarter. But collectors immediately noticed something odd. The lettering on the coin was written in flowing script, not the usual bold, capitalized font. The words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the year appeared almost handwritten, unlike any other U.S. coin in circulation. This wasn't a novelty piece or a damaged coin. It was a genuine mint product. Experts believe it may have been created using an experimental die or an unauthorized test during minting. Only one known example has ever surfaced, making it a unique discovery that defies normal U.S. mint standards. When this script error quarter went to auction, it drew intense attention from collectors, investors, and numismatists. The bidding war was fast and fierce, ending in a staggering final price of $51,000, making it one of the most expensive modern error quarters ever sold. Both the 1956 Wheat Penny and the rare script quarter prove that even the smallest, most ordinary-looking coins can hold massive value. Whether it's a cent from the past or a quarter from recent years, coins have stories, secrets, and surprises that are waiting to be uncovered. The next time you check your pocket change, pay attention. That 1-cent coin might not just be copper. It could be a piece of American history worth thousands. And that quarter in your wallet? Take a closer look. Because one small detail can turn spare change into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Top 5. In the world of rare coins and hidden treasures, few are as legendary among collectors as the 1958 Lincoln Wheat Penny, the final year of the iconic wheat reverse design that began in 1909. To the average person, it's just another old copper coin, but to coin enthusiasts and historians, the 1958 Wheat Penny marks the end of an era. What makes it even more fascinating is that certain versions of this coin, especially those with dramatic mint errors, have fetched jaw-dropping prices. And as if that wasn't enough to capture attention, a mysterious and stunning script error quarter dollar shocked the collecting world by selling for $49,000. Proving that even modern pocket change can hide a fortune. Let's begin with the 1958 Lincoln Wheat cent. This was the last year the U.S. Mint produced pennies with the 2 wheat ears on the reverse before switching to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. Hundreds of millions were struck in Philadelphia and Denver, but only a select few have become incredibly valuable, not because of what's typical, but because of what's rare. The most famous and valuable version of the 1958 penny is the 1958 double die obverse, a true legend in the coin world. In this variety, the word liberty and the phrase "in God we trust" appear clearly doubled, and even the date shows visible doubling. Only a few genuine examples are known to exist, and because of this rarity, one of these coins sold for over $100,000 at auction, making it one of the most expensive wheat pennies ever discovered. But even aside from the ultra-rare double die, there are other highly collectible and valuable 1958 wheat pennies. Coins with off-center strikes, broad strikes, or pennies struck on the wrong planchets, such as a dime or foreign coin blank. can sell for thousands. A 1958 cent struck 50% off center in high grade could bring in $2,000 to $5,000, while an error on a silver dime planchet might go for $10,000 or more. Then there are pristine MS-67 or higher red specimens, coins with their full original color and no blemishes. These coins, when slabbed and certified by top grading agencies, have sold for upwards of $5,000 to $7,000, especially when they exhibit strong, sharp strikes and flawless surfaces. It's these high-end, investment-grade examples that serious collectors compete for. Now, shifting to one of the most baffling discoveries in modern U.S. coinage, the rare script error quarter dollar, a coin that turned heads in the collecting community and commanded a final price of $49,000 at auction. At first glance, this quarter seemed ordinary, but upon closer inspection, it revealed something no one had seen before on U.S. coinage. The standard lettering had been replaced with flowing cursive script, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date were all rendered in elegant, handwritten-like script, completely different from the bold, capitalized type used on every standard quarter. This wasn't damage, counterfeiting, or post-mint tampering. It was confirmed by experts to be a legitimate error, likely the result of a test die or experimental engraving process that somehow found its way onto an actual coin. Only one known example has been verified, and no others have surfaced to this day. The uniqueness of the coin, paired with its excellent condition, led to massive interest when it hit the auction block. Collectors, dealers, and investors all saw the potential value, not just monetary, but historical. In a fast-paced auction, the bidding skyrocketed, and the final hammer came down at an astounding $49,000, making this script error quarter one of the most talked-about coins in recent years. Together, the 1958 double-die wheat penny and the rare script error quarter stand as powerful reminders that even the smallest coins can carry massive worth. It's not always about gold or silver. Sometimes, it's about the story, the rarity, the detail, and the history. Next time you go through your spare change, look carefully. Because that 1-cent coin could be worth thousands, and that quarter might just be the next big discovery in American numismatic history. Keep hunting. The next treasure might be right in your pocket.